Let's get underway.
Welcome everyone to Underway. We have an incredible guest for you today. I swear every time we introduce someone, the resume just gets more impressive each time, and it's gonna kind of be hard to top this one. She's played in two World Cups and the Olympics representing Nigeria, played professionally in Mexico, Spain, Sweden, and most recently, you can catch her streaking down the pitch for Racing Louisville. She is the pride of Aba, Nigeria. It's Uchenna Kanu. Uchenna, how you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. You are back now from your guys' break.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining me today. I mean, I think it's like
Thank
your
you for
second
having
day.
me.
Of course, I think it's like your second day back and you're hopping on a podcast. So I appreciate that the grind doesn't stop for you. How was your break?
It was good. It was nice. I really had fun getting to catch up with my old teammates, my best friends from college. We went to Clearwater Beach
Oh,
in
nice.
Tampa, Florida. So it was pretty cool.
That's
I
great.
missed them.
Yeah. Before the NWSL season stopped down, you guys beat the Pride 2-0 and are currently seventh on the table. The team has been strong recently, though, playing or winning, I think, three out of the last four games. How do you think the season's been going so far, for the team and for you personally?
For the team, I think we're doing really well. We have good players and we're winning games back to back. I think it's a good thing for the team and I think it's special. For me personally, I mean, it could be better. It hasn't been really, going well for me. I think, playing wise and of course coming back from my injury. But again, for the team in general, we're doing really well. We're in a good place and I'm really excited for the second round of the season.
That's great. And you guys are currently in playoff position. What has the messaging kind of been like from the staff of like, hey, like are there certain things that we need to improve on, or like, hey, just stay the course, trust the process, and this will lead us to playing in the playoffs?
I think there's always room for improvement, and I
Hmm.
think these staff they've always been really encouraging. They've always focused on the good, focused on the positives from the games. We always find things to get better at in each game, and the staff do a really good job to cut out those pieces and have us look at them and put them together and try to get better in the next challenge. But currently, we're in a good place, and we're trying to build the momentum or build on that and try to, stay the course, like you said, and maintain our position towards the playoffs.
Yeah. And you're in your third season with Louisville. Last year you missed some time due to injury. How do you feel like you've acclimated to racing Louisville so far?
I mean, I think after my injury, I had my surgery and I didn't play again last season. So I had the 5 goals even before the surgery. So um, up until now, I just got my first goal against Kansas City, and it's huge for me. And I want to keep that positivity and, in general, acclimating with the team of the Louisville City. And it's been tough for me personally. And just soccer wise, I haven't, it's exactly like not what I expected.
Hmm.
I expected to play more, I guess. But I haven't really been able to have that opportunity. But again, I'm always positive. I'm always with the team. I'm always up on the task and doing what is asked of me.
Hmm.
But yeah, in general, it could be better. But again, the most important thing right now is that the team is doing well, and we want to focus on that right now. So,
Yeah. Anything you can do to help the team?
I mean, I'm always myself. I've
Yeah.
always contributed whenever I'm given the opportunity. I
Hmm.
always work hard. I always, even at trainings, I always put in my best. So
Yeah.
yeah, the team can testify to that effect. And I guess
Yeah. From the outside looking in, it seems to be a pretty great atmosphere on game days. What's it like playing for the fans who come out to sport in basically like any sort of weather?
I mean, it's cool to see the fans come out regardless of the weather, whether or not it's storming, rain, just the rain or it's pretty hot. They just show up. But again, we want to encourage them to come out more because we need the stands filled up. Right now, we're doing well, and why not come out to give us the support that we need to continue maintaining the momentum that we have right now? So the fans can come up more, but again,
Mm,
we appreciate the ones that show up regardless of the situation, with the weather and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, I mentioned it at the beginning, but you're from Aba, Abia, Nigeria. I read that you grew up selling like sodas and fruits with your brother as a young kid.
Yes.
It's Can you kind of talk to me? I mean, so few people have been able to go from pretty humble beginnings like that to where you're at now, playing football at the highest, level and representing your country on the world stage. Like, can you talk about what it was like growing up in ABBA and how you're able to go from basically being that young girl to playing football collegiately at Southeastern University in Florida, of all places?
I mean, growing up in the city of Aba, it was really hard. It was really tough. Like, we didn't really have much. I grew
Mhm.
up from a very teeny tiny family, very poor background, and it was tough. My mom sold on the roadside. Like you said, I would help my mom and me and my brother. We would hawk like fruits,
Mm.
vegetables, whatever my mom could get from the bush market. We would hawk that around the market, around the cities of Aba, and just try to sell and make ends meet with the family and try to put food on the table. That's what I did growing up, and football. I've always loved football. Um, I was born playful. I can't even tell you, how long I've been playing for,
Yeah.
but I just know that as soon as I could understand things as a little kid, I knew I was up onto football. So, and I've played my whole life. My dad didn't really support me in the beginning. He would yell at me and tell me, "Oh, football is not for girls," kind of
Mm.
thing. Every parent almost did that, if I'm not mistaken. Like in Nigeria, it's very difficult growing up in a very small environment like that, like in a rough environment where female athletes or female footballers are not recognized or are not, encouraged, especially when it comes to equipment, things to play on fields, boots, balls, whatever you may think of, jerseys. We didn't really have that luxury. So
Mhm.
my dad would, frown at me whenever I tried to play. And my mom was always supportive. She actually got me cleats. I remember her telling me stories of her scoring a header when she was younger.
Yeah.
And she would take me to church programs like community games where the moms would play against the dads, and she would bring me and she would brag about me and tell the dads, oh, my daughter is gonna beat you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it was really cool just having my mom at my back the whole time. And of course, my siblings. I had my younger brother. He played when he was younger. He was really good, but at some point he gave up on football. He said it was music that he was interested in.
Oh, okay.
But again, it was a rough background there. And moving to Southeastern, I played on the U17 team and the U20 team in the same year, 2014.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had this guy, Vic. He reached out to me in 2015 up until like 2016. Like he was just sending me random messages on Facebook. Hey, we have opportunity for you in the United States. We have scholarships, things like that. I thought it was scam. I was just like ignoring him
It
because
sounds like a scam.
yeah, it did sound like I was like, no, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I just ignored him for like up to like a year, the whole
Yeah.
2015. I didn't even reply to him. And then on the second thought, I was like, if he's not asking for money, maybe I should just listen to him until he asks for money, then I run.
Yeah.
So he didn't ask for that. So I replied and it was good. The conversation went on and on. And then up until finding myself landing in the US in New York, I was like, oh, this is real. But it was hard saying goodbye to my family, and my mom was really excited for me, even though at a very young age, leaving family it was
Mhm.
difficult. But again, she wanted the best for me, and of course, I was just excited chasing my dream. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was really tough. But again, I went through college. It was hard.
Yeah.
I,
I
I
mean, college
remember,
was hard
I
for
remember
me,
going.
and I could not imagine how it was for you.
Like I remember walking into my coach's office telling him after a math class, I was like, look, I'm not doing this. I want to quit right now. I'm going home or I'm going pro, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to do school. But he encouraged me and tried to talk me out of that, mentality. And I tried to think about going back home and what it would be like for me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna shut my mouth. I'm just gonna work hard. I'm just gonna get as many help as I can,
Yeah.
to make it happen for myself. So that's how I stuck with school and then went through college and graduated in 2019 with a bachelor's of science in sports management.
That's amazing. I mean,
Thank
I can only imagine how hard it is to move to a different country where you don't know anybody. You're putting your
you.
faith in basically a random stranger sliding into your DMs. Um, how was that transition from going back from your hometown, which, I went through your social media. You have a lot of love for your hometown. We'll talk later a little bit about all the things that you're doing to help specifically young girls over there. But what was it like just going from Nigeria to Florida? I keep saying it, but I can only imagine how crazy that culture shock must have been.
It was tough. I am not gonna lie, it was tough, especially not knowing anyone. It was my first trip away from home. Like not my
Hmm.
first trip, but again, like living somewhere else for a period of time.
Yeah.
Um, it was hard. I didn't have nobody, like no family, no nothing, other than the guy that brought me, and he tried to hook me up with some people to work. I worked as a dog bather in a dog grooming shop. That was my first
Wow.
job in the United States. So I loved it because I love dogs, and that's what I started with. And I was staying with this lady. Her name is Diane in Florida, in Claremont, Florida. I
Mhm.
stayed with her, and yeah, I had this family as well that I stayed with. They were very kind, and they accepted me, and it was just bit by bit, and I tried to make as many friends as I could.
Mhm.
On campus, my teammates. I got help with school. Utilized the school. Um, it's called ACE. So you use it's like a platform where you go in. They help you with like any uh, course or subjects that you're
Okay.
struggling with. So I
Yeah.
utilize that to actually keep my grade up to maintain my
That's great.
scholarship
Yeah.
and be eligible to play and not be sent back home. So I did it was hard. So going through all of that, having to the school system is way different from what we have back home, and I everything is done on computer, and I was like, oh God, I didn't know how to use a computer. How am I supposed to survive this? It was really hard. So I just tried to stay focused and
Hmm.
try to work hard and make sure I didn't fail any of my classes
Yeah.
to be eligible to actually graduate because I had made up my mind after I tried to quit the first time.
Yeah.
So it was difficult, but I
Well,
made it through.
Well, going through your career, it seems like you're not afraid to make like these difficult decisions because going from Nigeria to Florida, you ended up going over to Spain to play for
Mhm.
Sevilla, and that was like right before COVID, right?
It was right when it was like right at the pandemic. We were on
Yeah.
lockdown, and I had just played 4 games. And I arrived in January, and there was a lockdown in March. I think
Hmm.
second week of March, and that was it because it was a 6-month contract, and I stayed on quarantine the rest of the
Jeez.
season.
So you didn't even get
Yes,
to experience Spain at all, really?
no,
Jeez.
yeah,
Uh,
that was my first experience as a pro athlete.
yeah. And then from Spain, you went to Sweden to play for
Sweden.
Linköping.
Yeah.
Were you able to at least experience Sweden at all?
I mean, yeah, I mean, Linköping is not that big of a city,
Hmm.
but again, I played a lot of times, and I was the second in goal scoring in the league, and I scored I think my first hat trick against the top team. So I was really successful in Sweden, except for the cold. It was really, really hard. I hate cold. but it was really cold because we did everything in the cold. And I remember just showing up to training on the field, and I was like crying, tears running down my cheeks. I was like, oh God, why did I sign up for this? It was hard
Yeah.
in training as well with the cold, but yeah, it wasn't off the field. It wasn't the best experience, but
Okay.
again, things happen. We just grow and learn. I'm really a very tough and strong person, so I try to acclimate. I try to overlook things. I try to just be myself and
Hmm.
hope for the best. I can't really control people. So I
Yeah.
just focus on the things that I can control as a human being. And yeah,
Yeah. I mean, from Sweden, you ended up you made history not only becoming the first African or Nigerian player, but the first African player in general to play for Liga MX Femenil. You joined Tigres, which, they have their own storied history, but you were able to help deliver them some hardware while you were there. That was the first trophy you won, right?
yes,
Yeah.
professionally, yes.
You won the Apertura in 2022. What was
Mhm.
that feeling like, and how was it playing in Mexico, which I think I read that final was the biggest women's final in Mexican history.
Uh,
It was
yes.
like 70,000 fans or something like that.
Yeah, I mean the stadium alone is up to like 50K, and there were like leftovers, people looking for tickets. I believe
Yeah.
that
That's got to be such a wild experience.
it was really wild. Like, I was, it was exciting. My teammates were so like excited as well, and working with them and Mexico experience in general was really cool. I miss them. I miss the experience. It was really cool. They have crazy passionate fans that show up to
Yeah.
everything. If we're not training, they show up to training to support the team. And there was never a day I went out to, let's say, grocery shopping. I didn't, say hello or take pictures or autograph like at least 5 to 10 people. It was pretty cool. Um, yeah, just winning my first trophy with the team, we deserved it. We
Yeah.
worked really hard and together as well. The team, we had so much going on, and the chemistry was there. It was pretty cool. We bonded really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned like not being able to go grocery shopping without getting stopped. Messi like pretty famously went grocery shopping the first time that he came to the US from playing overseas, and nobody really bothered them. Is it kind of the same in Louisville? You have a little bit more anonymity?
I mean, in Louisville, first of all, I we don't have a lot of people that know about the team.
Hmm.
Because from experience, for example, we could be going to a trip, the whole team, wearing racing gears, like at the airport, and people don't even recognize what is racing,
Really?
right? People are asking us like, "Hey, what is this? Is it like a horse racing team? Is it high school? What are you guys?" Then we
Yeah.
have to like start explaining
Wow,
ourselves.
that's
So it's
wild.
like it's not the same. Just one time, since this is my third season here, but only one time that someone saw me at the grocery store and said hello, that they recognized me. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's been like, that's why we're always calling out the fans to like come out to the
Yeah.
games, to show up more and expand or extend the reach more so more people would know about the team.
Yeah, especially since you guys are having a pretty good season so far. And then I wanted to touch on your foundation. When learning about you, this stuck out the most to me. You've led an incredibly fascinating life, and we've talked about it here already. And I'm sure that there's so many things that you're proud of accomplishing. But
Mhm.
the one thing that sticks out to me is your foundation and the work you do to help women in Nigeria. I mean, I always say it's important to know where you come from so you know how far you've come. And you've taken that one step further. Can you explain to people who might not know what your foundation is and what exactly you guys do through it and why it's so important to give back?
So, the Uchenna Kanu Foundation was launched in December 2023. And so the main objective is to help girls back home who don't have the opportunity to play football, especially, and of course, get education. Just like I did, like I said,
Mm,
I had the opportunity to go to school in Florida. I want to bring the same opportunity back home to these girls that are just thriving, it's important to me that they have the same opportunity that I had. And that's basically the main goal of the foundation, to get as many girls as possible out to college here in the United States, to get them college opportunities, scholarships, and have them thrive in a better environment when it comes to sports. And incorporate new education with sports is the most important thing, because there's this narrative back home that people think that when we play football, we don't know anything else, right?
yeah.
We don't go to school, we just want to play football, and that's it. That's kind of what the barrier we're trying to break. We're trying to, you know, change the narrative and tell people like, no, we do go to school, we do other things, we do network, we do innovative things, and we kind of not just be stuck with football forever. So we're trying to also encourage parents to let their kids play sports and socialize and do more things in the world of sports. So basically, my goal is to get um, coaches in the United States from college to attend my events in
Mhm.
Nigeria, to scout players as well. I've been working on that. It's been very difficult because most of the coaches don't want to go because they can't afford to buy the flights, or their school cannot cover the flights, or things like that. But we have an event coming up in December right now, and I'm doing the same thing, reaching out to coaches, trying to get them to attend the event to scout players, because there's a lot of players,
Yeah.
shit ton of players. Sorry,
Yeah.
cutting my
No, you're
language.
good.
There's a lot of players back home that are really good, and I need people. I need scouts to go out there and find them and give them opportunity to thrive and to be pro athletes in the future. So that's what we're doing. And right now we have a fundraising campaign going on right now. We're trying
Okay.
to get people to donate towards that event, and yeah.
That's great.
And for anyone that would want to donate, just go to uchennakanu.com/foundation. You can navigate towards the donation, and you can donate. Whatever you donate will go a very long way towards giving these girls opportunity to be the next Uchenna.
That's amazing. Yeah, we'll put a link underneath as well of this
Thank
video.
you so much. Thank
And
you.
it's so admirable to to see where you came from and understand the shortcomings that, could have been an impediment in
Mhm,
your own growth as a player, and to step in and provide that support to young women. I mean, I know it has to be very rewarding for you to see the smiles on these girls' faces, just,
mhm. Yeah,
being so happy that
just
somebody,
getting
yeah,
things to them. Like, I appreciate my teammates as well. They've been donating their cleats as well, just
it's
to
great.
send home to these girls. And we take anything, any donations, any you know gears, kits, whatever, just to equip the trainings back home for the teams that are participating in our events. So it's pretty cool. Whenever I send anything to them, they are very happy. They
Yeah,
smile. That's the goal. That's what I want to achieve. That smile on their faces, it goes a
yeah,
really long way, because we don't have anything like that in Nigeria.
yeah,
Anything like scholarship, athletic scholarship. We don't have that. So I'm trying to help these girls get that opportunity. So it means a lot to myself, and of course for them, most importantly.
yeah. That's so great. And then we'll finish this interview off. I've kept you kind of long already, but we'll finish
No,
this
you're good.
interview
You're
off
good.
real quick. I like to play like a rapid fire question game at the end.
Okay.
I changed the title for everybody. This one is called Racing for an Answer for Racing Louisville. But first
I hope
up,
I know the answers.
well, it has to do with you, so I'm sure you will.
Okay.
Um, First off, what's your favorite off day activity?
Off day activity is taking my dog on a long walk.
What kind of dog do you have?
A dachshund mixed with Shih Tzu. So Shih Tzu, she's a
Okay.
Schwiener dog. Is that what they're called, Schwiener? like a wiener dog and Shih Tzu mix.
Oh, okay. I
She's
think there,
so
yeah,
cute. She's
there's some
like the
sort of Dumb and
sweetest,
Dumber joke about that.
and she's rare. Like her breed is really rare.
Yeah,
So
that's
she
great.
has a page on Instagram, so everyone can
Everyone can go
just look at her.
follow.
She's so cute.
And
And
then
of course,
hi,
I take naps. I don't really do a lot on off days. I just
yeah,
take naps and walk my dogs, and just it's a
recover.
relaxing day for me. Yeah.
Yeah. What's been the highlight of your career so far?
Um, Scoring the I would say two. I have two things
Okay.
that I'm like really cool and I'm proud of. So one is scoring my first goal in the World Cup against the host team.
Yeah.
Um, and the other is scoring the fastest brace in the history of the NWSL. But that record is broken. But again, it means a lot to me, and just to have set that record in the first
Yeah.
place.
So you are an overachiever because those were my next two questions. I was gonna say you hold the record for quickest brace in NWSL history, scoring twice in 6 minutes against the Thorns. Can you walk me through kind of the mentality and what that moment was like for you?
It was amazing. I didn't expect it, but again, if you watch the game, you'll see that I was really hungry to be in the box. Shout out to my teammates that gave me the passes. The second goal, I think I got the pass from Turner. Yeah, really Turner. She made a fantastic cross, and I was just right in between like the two center backs, and I was able to jump ahead of them and kind of got my head on the ball. Just being in the right position. It meant a lot, and I was super excited. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one was you've accomplished something that most people never get to, which is scoring at a World Cup.
hmm
Like
it was pretty
what did
cool.
that moment mean to you and what went through your mind after that happened? I'd personally just start crying right away.
I was chasing down the field, like running to the bench to kind of like celebrate, and it meant the world because we were down a goal. I think it was like a equalizer towards the end of the first half. So just being an equalizer as well, and my first goal, all the energy, like everything, all the excitement, it meant really like it was huge for me, and I was super super excited. I'm,
Yeah.
proud of my teammates, and it was my captain Rashida. She made the cross. She kind of like took a shot, and it deflected and just came right to me, and I just on a first time finish, and I scored. So it was pretty cool, and
Yeah.
it was my best highlights so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
And
And
of
then
course, I've been just winning my first trophy. I have a lot, but
yeah.
it still meant so much.
Yeah. I think one of the hardest quotes I've ever heard is from you, and you said, "It's my identity to score goals."
Yep.
That's so amazing. Can you tell me what that
That's
means to
it.
you?
I
Like,
think if you ask 10 people what is Uchenna known for, I think eight, seven, 8 or 9 of them would just say goal scoring.
yeah,
And I know I've always done that my whole life. And um, yeah, that's why I thought, since Louisville has been difficult again, opportunity wise, and it just felt like I haven't been able to deliver that.
yeah,
But again, I'm working hard and believing that I will get better opportunities. So,
yeah. Last question. The World Cup will be in the US and Mexico in 2023 or 2031.
mhm.
Um, what will it be like to see Nigeria hopefully representing in the US at the highest level? And what can people and fans in the US expect from a Nigerian women's national team?
The same thing they've always expected.
Yeah,
Tough game. We've always been the team to beat. So I think it can only get better from that. So nothing less. I think we have a really good team, good players, really talented players. And 2031 is still a little bit further away, but
yeah.
again,
It'll be
anybody,
here before we know it.
regardless of whoever's on the team, Nigeria is always the team to beat.
Yeah,
Whoever, regardless of the roster, Nigeria is always the team to beat, and that's what everybody's gonna expect, and that's what they are gonna get. The toughness that we come with, the
yeah,
competition that we provide to every team. They've always gonna get that. They will always get that from Nigerian team, from the Super Falcons.
Yeah.
No matter what World Cup it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, that has been Racing for an Answer, and that has been Uchenna's time here on Underway. Thank you again for coming
Okay.
on and sharing your time with us. You've already plugged your foundation, but do you want to tell everyone where they can find you? Maybe the Uchenna Kanu Foundation or like on Instagram
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
On social media, we have Uchenna Kanu Foundation platforms on social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Uchenna Kanu Foundation. Of course, myself, Uchenna Kanu underscore. Uchenna underscore Kanu underscore 19 is my personal Instagram, and
Hmm.
I've always, highlighted the foundation there as well. For you people that would want to donate, I encourage you to donate regardless. Go to uchennakanu.com/foundation to donate and to support and to also see what we are doing. Currently, we have a player in Pittsburgh. She's graduating in 2026. Yeah, she's doing nursing right now. So that's what I want to see with that's what I'm doing with the foundation to help
Yeah.
girls get that opportunity. And right now we have a player in Pittsburgh. Your donation, your support can go a very long way in giving these girls this opportunity to thrive, both in education and, of course, sports, football.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for supporting the foundation and for supporting myself as well. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for coming on.
Underway has been brought to you by 818 Productions. Any use of Underway, either acquired through podcast or video format that is captured by a third party with proper credentials, requires the direct written consent of 818 Productions and must be used in compliance with all requirements and restrictions stated therein.